Hello, we're live again. Hello, alright. We're back with more Sin Sleeper. We have done some stuff. I vaguely remember we tried to get Eugene a drive for a jump ship, but we fucked that up. There was no way we were gonna succeed, so we had to retreat. So now we reach another colony where we have to deliver a certain package. Someone that Ankita told us to meet, and we met that someone last time in bad shape, but he's okay now. He just needs some time to recover from stuff. Yeah. Alright. As usual, I'm going to be fumbling my words a lot, because I'm bad at reading. Enter refinery. Fuel extraction. Alright, crew, you go find supplies, I guess. Or fuel. I fit the stray. Olivera colonies allows you to get supplies, yeah. Yeah, okay, so none of this stuff costs cryo, but they involve skills, right? Hold on, let me adjust my microphone a bit more. There you go. The sound of raised voices echoes through the tunnel. Following them, you find yourself at the entrance of the clinic, where Flint and Xander are locked in a bitter argument. I won't take you out of there, Flint! Xander is pleading with the sleeper. Look what happened to Carmen! They'll kill you! What happened to Carmen is exactly why I have to go. They will find me here, and when that happens... The whole colony can hear too. Seraphine comes out of the clinic with cadence. Try to wake up Carmen? You see Seraphine clock you, standing in the passageway. Your eyes meet and Seraphine looks away. Neither of you have seen each other since you brought Carmen back to Olivera. I'm trying to make sure what happened to Carmen doesn't happen to anyone else. Flint folds her arms. I'm the reason he's like he is, and that means it's on me to fix it. We're in silence. Trying to be a hero, Flint? Seraphine squints at the sleeper. Trying to stop SNR coming down on this place? Flint gives him a dark look. At the mention of SNR, Seraphine's eyes jump straight to you. And Flint followed his gaze, finding you waiting in the passageway. SNR, the company that created you. The company you escaped. The idea of them bearing down this place sets your nerves on edge. You have long since slipped their grasp. Lane disabled your tracker in exchange for unwavering service, a gift that became a trap. But Flint is still on the run, and if SNR attack Carmen's ship, they can't be far away. You look at Flint and see the fear in their eyes. SNR attacked the ship? Their hunter did. Lane looks down. He thought they had abandoned their chase. Olivera is shrouded. Lane looks towards the center of the colony. Carmen managed to get a hold of a signal shroud and set it up here. We want to keep everyone safe. There's no way SNR can track me here. Am I missing something? Seraphine interrupts. If they can't find you here, what's the problem? It's not just about the tracker. That hunter found me in the debris field. They know I escaped. It's only a matter of time before the search brings them here. Silence falls on the group. As the inevitability of the problem sets in, Xander looks distraught. You can't, Flint! Xander says in a quiet voice. They'll kill you! Seraphine glances at you and Flint in turn, and you see his mind working on a solution. He looks away, frowning. Sorry, Xander. This is how it is. Flint looks dejected. Unless we get them first. Seraphine smiles and impish smiles. Seraphine, what are you thinking? Ken speaks up for the first time. We know there's a hunter out there, scoring the shoals. And we know they are looking for you, Flint. Seraphine shrugs. That means we have the upper hand. You don't need to bring them here. We can bring them anywhere we want. Seraphine looks around the group. So, we get set, we prepare a little surprise, and then we wait. Flint is already shaking their head. The hunter could arrive here any moment. We don't have time for this. If I had a ship, I would have left already. Then we move you now. We take you somewhere we can prepare, and we work hard fast to get an ambush set. When the hunter comes, Seraphine grins. We'll spring the trap. What kind of trap? That we still have to figure it out. Seraphine admits. But you have to admit, it beats going out to die without a plan. He shoots Flint a look, and hey, if we fail, the outcome will be the same anyway. Flint doesn't respond immediately. You can see them thinking through, considering their options. I'm coming! Xander has a determined look on his face. We're doing this! And I'm coming! Look, kid, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but this is the real thing. But the hunter is not going to... Stop patronizing me! Xander cuts him off. I know the shows! You need me out there! The conversation suddenly devolves into many small arguments. The location, who should go, how to approach the ambush. The noise grows. The All-Storeheim Manufactory! Cadence's voice rises clear and precise through the noise. That's where you do it! Hold on. Yep. There you go. Where's OBS? There you go. It's on a rock far enough from here. And it's a real labyrinth. You can lead a hunter there and get them lost inside. Cadence's eyes are bright and determined. The place is full of old machines, ordnance. We've been afraid to scavenge any of it. It's so unstable. You notice Seraphine watching Cadence speak, slightly impressed by the sudden shift towards the civilians' action. Could bring the whole place down on their head! Xander picks up Cadence's thread. I know the manufactory! It's a good idea! You look between those gathered. Seraphine, stubborn and protective. Cadence's sharp eyes. Xander's relentless desire to get involved. And Flint, a sleeper like you. A sleeper in need of an escape. Carmen was building something here. A sheltered haven. A place that needed protecting. He may be unconscious behind those doors, floating amongst the wires and tubes of the clinic, but something of him is there, in his group, making a plan of resistance. Flint's eyes meet yours, and you know what has to be done. The rig will leave Olivera this cycle. You have a hunter to trap. Okay? Okay? Alright, we're gonna fill up on the food now then. Alright, so we are ready for another contract. I hope this doesn't suck. Let's see. James Blaze is the place to shot Flint's pursuer. You have sight of the prepares so you head out the better. Okay. And let's see. Who do we pick? Who do we pick for this? I have pretty much +1 in every skill except engage, which sucks completely. God damn it, Zoe! Oh my god! Fine, I'll go drink water. Fuck you! I can't believe you've done this. Also, hi. Okay. We're gonna go with Bliss. And... no. Friends. Shit. Let's go with Eugene and Bliss. Fuck it. Corroded plates, twisted struts, scattered scrap. Manufacturing makes for a familiar sight. Just one more right artifact from the corporation that once owned the system. Despite that, something about it sets you on the edge. Perhaps because it also will form the crucible for your attempt to take on an SNR hunter. The kind whose entire job is to bring and escape sleepers like you, dead or alive. The rig is stuck behind a rock, running on low power with its transporter off. You hope that's enough not to draw attention. So, let's through it! Sophie turns back to Flint, Cadence, and Xander, all of whom are crammed into the cockpit along with your crew. We have to make this place look like a colony. That is what the hunter would expect. Cadence suggests first, her voice quavering a little with anxiety. We can seal up some of the holes, maybe install some lighting, fake it up. Okay. Sophie nods reassuringly. It's good. But then, we forced him to go deep! Xander cuts in, and everyone looks at him. He pauses, a little intimidated by the attention. Flint nods at him to continue. I've been out there before, on a salvage run. There's an assembly line that runs through our whole place, filled with all manufacturing machines. We seal doors, activate machines, make it a maze of malfunctioning construction arms and dead ends. Right then, control the route. I like it. Reference by Alexander. Oh. This is truly a citizen sleeper stream. I am sleepy. And if we get lucky, maybe one of those old machines will do the job for us. I doubt it. Blink joins in. We'll need the ordnance for the silos. Mining charges, fuel, whatever is left from when this place was churning out Solheim goods. They further brow, blow the place, to make sure. A silence passes through the cockpit, the danger of what you were about to attempt dawning on everyone's present. Okay, Seraphine has a dark look. That's the plan. We detonate the ordnance with a command from the rig, a simple white bind comm signal. We'll get them. Seraphine pats Flint on the shoulder. Once they go in, the hunter isn't coming back out. He turns to you. Anything we missed? Will the trap be obvious? I don't think it matters. Cadence cuts in. If they know Flint is there, the hunter will take the risk, right? Right. Seraphine confirms grimly. How long do you think we have? There's a little factory down there. The hunter got me and Carmen fast. Flint looks at the cockpit. No more than 3 cycles. When the hunter came for us... Flint grimaces. Remember the attack on Carmen's ship. They came out of nowhere. Hit us hard and fast. If it wasn't for Carmen, we need to be ready for anything. Flint looks at you. It won't be a warning. Seraphine sighs. Nice pep talk. Flint, we'll find somewhere deep in that place. Down in the bedrock. But make sure it has a back door, okay? He knows how to sleeper. The rest of us will get to work. Right. You heard Flint. We do this, and we do it right. We make her stand on this rock. Let's not waste a moment more. Oh boy. 3 days, huh? Don't fuck this up for me, Bliss. Stress on me. Holy shit. Are you kidding me? Oh no, I don't know who we're gonna make this. Some decent die. You know, Cadence's voice comes over from the comms, shimmering with interference. From here, it doesn't look half bad. You look across the shadow of the manufactory, now studded with lights and with markings. The fresh wells and plates giving the whole place a fragile, patchwork feeling. If I was a piece of shit hunter, this is what what I think another person's settlement would look like, right? Better hope so. Cadence goes quiet for a moment, her attempt at humor only serving to remind you both of the desperate circumstances. You spoken to Flint? Cadence pauses. I mean, really spoken? Why? Oh, Cadence stumbles over her words. I just thought you two might want to speak about... She trails off. Flint is very loyal. I know you're quiet and, well, intense, but... Sighs. Just hope you two can find some common ground. Get on just fine. Of course, sorry. Cadence stops again. Oliver is a refuge. Cadence takes a breath. For all of us, I was in trouble when I met Carmen. We all were. One way or another. Seraphine has told me a lot about you. Cadence hesitates. And I can see what you're trying to do for Flint and Oliveira. Finish. I appreciate it. I know Xander does, and Carmen will do as well, and Flint... Cadence pauses. Hell, you'll see. The comms click off, returning you to the silence of the manufactory. You look out across the false colony and the glittering lights. They are a poor imitation of Oliver's real lights. Those that indicate the colony's fragile, delicate state. Pick it off and move on. This isn't over yet. Oh my god, dude, you suck! Eugene, come on. Eugene! Bliss, don't fuck this up. Hey, Bliss. Thank you, Bliss. Bliss, don't fuck this up for me. Well, we did some good progress. Just Bliss alone here. Oh god, my dice are breaking. You float for a moment, observing the chaos of the old assembly line. Scale the structure, the number of machines, the arms and fabricators, the welders and bolters, suggests industry on a scale that you have never witnessed. Second, how long have I been streaming for already? Only half an hour, yeah. Ah, goddammit, OBS, go there. The hidden system. a system that now subsists on leftovers of its failed corporate owners, was once filled with manufacturers like this, churning out components and technologies, machines and resources for extracting the valuable materials and minerals that Solheim existed to amass. If someone was able to rebuild one of these places, put it back into operation, imagine what could be fit into the belt, what changes that could come for its people. Yet no one will undertake such a task because this place is haunted by the specter of Solheim, an entity that every being in the system can trace their origins back to, an entity that turned the entire system into a manufactory, a machine for accumulation, and that did not distinguish between human and machines as it did. You look at the broken machines, worn down and rusted, crippled and bent. Some of them have been put back into use this past cycle as a part of your plan, and those jerk to or turn randomly, blindly groping for components that will never be fed to them. None of them are sentient machines, like you, and so they cannot be feel or think, and yet you cannot decide if for them to persist is a kind of cruelty that radiates from the system that created them, or the indication of a new life, one that grants them new function, new meaning, and the possibility of something more. Creepy, right? Xander floats beside you, his voice hissing through the close-range comms. Maybe the hunter will get spooked by those twitching arms. He imitates the scattered movements in the factory machines. More sad and creepy. Xander shrugs. Say so. So... Xander gives you a look. How come this hunter isn't chasing you? My tracker is deactivated. Huh? Xander shoots you a look. Look at you! Who did that? Captor. Xander goes quiet. I see. Can't deactivate Flint's. Sure. Xander looks down. But, you know, maybe once we're done here... He meets your eye. They need your help. Xander looks out at the assembly line and sighs. I like Flint. I'm happy to do this for them. Turns back to you. And I want to like you. Too. So, don't mess this up, alright? Xander gives you a hard look. Don't let Flint down. Xander kicks off and glides towards the exit, waiting for a response. You watch him go for a moment, before turning away. So much to do. We're so close. We're so fucking close. Holy shit. Holy fuck! We did it! Oh! That's such a clutch. Okay. A second, hold on. Go easy with that. Flint's voice rumbles over the local comms as you secure the final piece of ordnance. You turn to see them floating, backlit, in the entrance of the bay. One of many that you have rigged with ordnance deep in the manufactory. Down here, dust and flecks of rust flow through the beams of your lights, and the walls are bent and buckled. Blah, blah. They spend the past cycles here, picking out a spot to draw the hunter down to. One, they should be able to slip out when the hunter finds their way in. It's a long time to be down in these dark tunnels, waiting. Looks like we're just about done. Their voice is flat, their tone pragmatic. You okay? Flint nods, eager to be done with this. They look over their shoulder. However it plays out. Flint glides into the bay slowly. Something I need to tell you. Something I think you'll understand. What are we doing out there is not about saving me. It's about Olivera. You struggle to see Flint's face with the light behind them. I should be on a ship out of there, leading this hunter away. They won't let me do that. They shake their head in frustration. And even if they would, I can't spare the ship. that after Carmen's got shut up. That was my mistake. I never should have let him persuade me to come with him on that supply run. Then looks down. It's done. It's done. What matters now, what I need from you is a promise. Lynn's bright eyes flash. That you'll bring this place down with me in it. With me stopping the hunter. I mean, yeah, like, Flint really doesn't have long, and they only have one stabilizer via left, which means they're gonna die eventually, and... I won't do that, I'm sorry. You will. Flint drifts a little closer. You know as well that you know as well as I that those who get close to us are at risk. That we, as sleepers, have to recognize what we open the door to. Carmen is my fault. I won't be Oliver's downfall too. With that, they turn and leave you in the dark. Holy shit, my dice! Wake up, sleeper. Seraphine is in the bunks. We got incoming. You shake off the haze of forgotten dreams and get up. In moments, you're in the cockpit. Xander, Cadence, and Seraphine all gather around the console. On it, the local view shows nothing. A single ship signal, and a few objects beyond are scattering on the breeze. I was right here, I swear it! Seraphine jabs at the screen. A ship! Small, but definitely a ship! Seraphine! Cadence sighs. We've all been up a while. Get some rest. I know what I saw! He catches her eye. You look at the screen. It's a view showing the scattered signatures of the breeze, like schools of fish drifting on a soft current. Manufactured tree is a noisy blob at the center of the circle, one that dissolves into the background as it edges. Nothing. And then there it is. Flicker. Flash. A spark of movement and light among one of the breeze clouds. It flares and then it is gone again. You look up and Seraphine meets your eye. You read your expression immediately. Seraphine slams a hand down on the console, opening up the comms channel. Look alive, Flint! They're coming in! Go deep and be ready to run! He pulls his hand off the switch. Better hope they heard that. Then you see through the cockpit glass the flare of an engine, faint and masked, but driving a squat dark ship under the breeze. The Hunter. The ship seems to idle near the manufactured asteroid, drifting past the dressed-up shell of the old facility. Time to see if our fake colony is convincing enough. Cadence nervously clasps her hands together. Will they buy it? Better. Seraphine looks concerned, because if they think this place looks abandoned, the Hunter might just strafe the whole facility. Seraphine swallows hard. You need them to dock, to come inside. You look at the ship, and as you do, it jumps forward, towards the docking tower. You watch for a few tense moments as it hesitates, and then slides into position onto one of the docking bridges. Cadence sighs in relief. They went for it! Seraphine pats you on the shoulder. Good job! The rat is in the maze. You can track them now. He exhales. At least, that's the theory. I hooked up some basic monitoring device in the assembly line. Xander calls over from another console. A few shitty cameras are purposed for the factory monitoring system. Not much, but hopefully enough to tell where they are. Cadence, Seraphine, and you crowd around the screen. Xander flicks between noisy black and white images and feeds of static. You squint into the fizzing dark, trying to pick up any detail. Then suddenly, you see them. I check Discord. What the fuck did you send me? What the fuck did you send me? Oh, kitty! Kitty! Thank you. Thank you for the cat pic. A shadow drifting beneath the flickering light. Dark clad in military gear. A long gun held at their shoulder. Deathly pale skin. In their eyes, gleaming through the faceplate, glowing irises. What the hell is that? Seraphine pulls back from the screen. They look like... a sleeper. Xander finishes Seraphine's sentence. The figure disappears outside the margin of the frame, and Xander flicks through the feeds. Where'd he go? Drift back from the screen, trying to think straight. The hunter is a sleeper or something else. You replay the images of the figure in your mind, but it has already shifted in your memory. It is your face staring back. It is Flint's. It is a sleeper's mask of death. Sleeper? Serafin grabs you both by the shoulders and looks in your eyes. We need to focus. We should get down there! Xander's eyes are wide. This changes things! This changes nothing. Serafin nods. We wait for Flint's signal. We hold here. The ordnance is in place. Serafin looks at you for reassurance. The moment we get the signal, we blow it. You think of the mining charges rigged in daisy chains, the fuel barrels lashed to detonators, the command code ready to transmit from the rig. Serafin sees the determination in your eyes. We hold. So, you wait. Cadence's eyes on the manufactory below. Xander tapping at the glass. Serafin perched by the console, listening for the signal. Then, you hear it. The hiss of an open comms channel. Look at Serafin, and he hears it too. It's like haze that fills the cockpit. You all go still. Serafin nods towards the indicator of the console. It's Flint's channel. A click. A scrape. And silence. Serafin frowns, tapping at the controls. What? Scrolls. Flint's receiver is gone! It's dead! Panic hits the cockpit. Then gliding over to the console. Cannon's going pale. Sleeper. Serafin turns and looks back over his shoulder towards you. We need to go in. Go! Cadence looks between you, Serafin and Xander with a steely expression. I'll stay here. He glances nervously at the console. The signal, I'll send a detonation signal. He swallows hard. If it works. Serafin looks torn for a moment and then nods. Let's go. You rush down to the airlock and suit up with the others. And then you're out, descending through the rock-strewn void in tense silence. You enter the manufactory through a gap in the frame, passing through layers of twisted facility, into the deep parts, where you know Flint waits in the dark. You say nothing to each other, afraid the comms will be intercepted. You lead Xander and Serafin on, seeking the deep base under the silos, where you began setting up the ordnance. Though unfinished, perhaps there is enough down there for this to work. If not... Serafin's hand falls on your shoulder, pulling you back. You go to speak and then you see it. The torch beam, glancing through the dark. The hunter, as you saw them on the grainy footage of Xander's camera, but real now. Just below, a long gun held ready at their shoulder, pushing through the dark and broken layers of the facility, seeking Flint. Serafin, Xander, and you exchange wide-eyed glances in silence. The hunter passes below, disappearing into a dark passage. Fucking scary, man. You wait together, the moment stretching out, then descend down into that same passage. The silence is absolute. Suddenly, there's a flash of light ahead, bright and forceful, and a rumble that shakes rust flakes from the walls. Xander pushes off hard, launching past you into the dark. Serafin goes too, and you instinctively glide forward, as another rumble shakes the foundation of the facility. You come into a low base covered with glowing embers, scorched holes in the walls, few drops of red-hot metal, where a weapon has been discharged. The hunter floats at the center, taking aim again, and you see a flicker of movement on the far side. Flint retreating. Before you can act, a sly figure in a suit slams into the back of the hunter, Xander. As he hits, the hunter's gun spins out of their hand. Grab the gun! Oof! You kick off, away from Xander and the hunter as they grapple together, spinning in the dark towards a deep shaft as the far side of the bay. You spot the shape of the long gun as it spins ahead of you. As you reach it, your hand locking around the sculpted grip, you spin and raise it. The first shot goes wide, burning a scorching hole in the bay wall. The second shot grazes the side of the hunter's suit in a flurry of sparks. They're thrown away from Xander, unable to find anything to slow their glide. The hunter disappears into the dark of the shaft, leaving a trail of embers in the dark. You see fear in Xander's eyes as they turn back to you. The muzzle of the gun smokes, glowing red, is spent. Got Flint! Serafin calls over local comms. We ascend, now! You look across the two of them, kicking off from the floor of the bay towards a ragged hole in the ceiling. You and Xander exchange a single glance, then follow. Cadence? Starfin is on the wideband. Detonate this place now! Send a command! There is silence. You ascend through it, through the layers of the manufactory, seeking the open void of space beyond. You clear the manufactory, glide into open space. A silent shockwave, like a gust of wind, runs through the void. The silent rumble splits at the scat of the breeze. You turn back, still gliding towards the ship, and see the shattered manufactory. Whole sections are bending outward, the framework shredded, the plane tumbling away in shards. You look across at Seraphin and Flint, their eyes set on the ship, trying only to stay ahead of the breeze. You do the same, fixing your attention on the rig and nothing else. A hunter is dead. Yeah. Been streaming for a little bit. Let me just do that. See. I'll be RB. I gotta go to the bathroom and drink water too. Damn it! I drink a little water, I piss a little pee. I drink a little water, I piss a little pee. I drink a little water, I piss a little. Okay, Where's OBS when I need it? There it is. Here's OBS. Here's OBS. I need to put my computer wrong a bit today, and it's breaking wrists. I'm back properly. You limp back to Oliveira, moving the rig at one of deep exhaustion. But as the colony appears, visible from the cockpit, the satisfaction of having run a terrifying gauntlet and come back in one piece shifts the mood. The crew's improved mood only becomes more obvious as you draw closer to Oliveira. As you come back in dock with the colony, you feel a wave of relief. Seraphine pats you on the shoulder as you both wait for the airlock to open. Hunter, sighs. It's an as cruel I could have imagined. Doesn't surprise me. A nasty logic. Send a sleeper to catch a sleeper. Seraphine shakes his head. I'm glad we brought Flynn some freedom. The airlock hisses open, revealing the docking bridge where Xander first confronted you. This time another, more substantial figure waits in the passage. I hear you're the one I should be thanking for saving my life. Carmen leans against the side of the tunnel, one arm clamped against his waist. So, thank you. He nods at the two of you. We have things to discuss. Sure we do. He smiled lightly. But let's not do that in the docking tunnel, shall we? Carmen! Cadence rushes past the two of you, laying to Carmen with an embrace strong enough to leave the injured man off balance. Aww. So happy to see him! Alright! Careful! You don't want to put me back in the medbay now, do you? Carmen pushes Cadence back with a gentle grip on her shoulders. He flinches as he does, so clearly holding some truth. Sorry! Cadence smiles. I'm just glad to see you up! Frown crosses Carmen's face. Where's Xander? Losing your vision, old man? Look back to see Xander and Flynn behind you in the tunnel. Xander smiles widely at Carmen, betraying his happiness to see him. I'll be just fine, Xan. Carmen's words are confident, but his tone suggests he isn't convinced. His hands are tightly balled into fists, as if resisting pain. I'm wondering if he should be up at all. Carmen turns to look at you at Seraphine. I think we need to talk. How about you two and Flynn accompany me to the medbay? Carmen winks. Flynn pushes past you both and goes to Carmen, helping him out of the tunnel. As he does, they exchange a few words, but you're too far away to make them out. You and Seraphine exchange glances and follow behind them into Oliveira. Yay, only one upgrade. Oh, it's a minor drive. Yeah, it doesn't give you that much. I'm yawning so much, holy shit. Carmen leads into a small recovery chamber in the medbay, where his bed is set up. A handful of tubes and wires float gently beside it, attached to boxy devices. Flynn has already left the group, leaving just you and Seraphine with Oliveira's injured founder. Carmen meets your eye with a hard look. So, how do you two end up stumbling into a colony in the shoals? He raises an eyebrow. Cause we're not usually open to visitors. Ankita sent us to you. You see the flicker of recognition in Carmen's eyes when you mention Ankita. You produce the thumbnail drive, holding it out for Carmen to inspect. She told Sleeper to deliver this for you, and you alone. Seraphine folds his arms. Carmen pauses thoughtfully. That's a name I have not heard for a while. He takes the drive. It seems I should thank you again, he sighs. Perhaps I owe you some explanation myself. He's yawning so much. Kira and I used to work together a lifetime ago. Carmen shakes his head. Went our separate ways, but then she turned back up in Oliveira. I established this colony as a refuge, a way of starting again. Carmen clasps his hands together. Belt is changing. I'm afraid it was coming. Ankita took a refuge here for a short while, and then one cycle she was gone. Carmen shrugs. That's not unusual for her. Each of us has our own demons. He holds up the drive. We'll take a look at what's on there. I'm able. He looks at the drive with concern. I will let you know what I find. You and Seraphine thank him and leave the chamber as he settles back on his recovery bed. As you leave, Flynn catches your attention. Can we speak? Seraphine pauses. I'll catch you back on the rig. He looks between the two of you, then glides away. Oh. Fuck. Flynn hovers, a look of concern on his mask-like face. Wait. His? Did they accidentally misgender them? Oh, oops. What do you need? Maybe Flint uses both he and they. Like they mostly, but he occasionally. I think I recall another instance of Flint being referred as he instead of they. I don't know. Flint gives you a curious look. You don't remember any of it, do you? He's silent. Flint screws up their face in a pain expression. First, thought you were hiding something. Intentionally avoiding the subject, so I waited. But understand it now. Don't remember me at all. Take a moment to think, to try to recall Flint. Before your brown frustration, sifting through the hazy memories of Dark Side, and throw back of your arrival to the belt. Close your eyes and see the face of other sleepers, panicked, desperate in darkness. Don't remember. Work together, in the same SN mining installation, along with the other sleepers. He searches your eyes for a spark of recognition. We weren't close. I'm not sure we really spoke. Very few of us did. But I was there when we planned to escape together. We run to the freighter, collapsing the mine shaft. Flint stops, struggling to contain the face of the blank look you are giving them. You feel an unpleasant itch, as if something is crawling around inside your skull. You can see that Flint wants you to recall them, to recall the escape, the installation, but you only find hazy sensations. And beneath them, pain. Sorry, I don't mean to. Flint looks down. I know you can't help it. Just need to say something. To know if you really don't remember. Thank you for everything you've done for me. And for Olivera. Flint turns and drifts away dejectedly, unable to continue. As you watch Flint go away, you scratch at the side of your head, trying to find something the way they move, the way they speak. Their mask-like face. A face that was identical to yours when it was the first cast. But that, for cycle after cycle of wear and damage, been transformed. Two machines, so close in form and function, strange by experience. Damn, holy shit. Alright, you guys look for, like, supplies now? And I'm gonna repair a bunch of my die, holy shit. I'm getting pinged by my friends. Alright. Thanks for coming up, sleeper! Carmen is waiting for you and Seraphine when you arrive at the medbay, looking a lot fresher. He leads you into a small alcove set up like an office, with an aging terminal, a simple weathered desk, and a small window looking out across the dusty rock of Olivera. Got something new for us? Seraphine asks, impatiently. Since you arrived back from the manufactory, he has been restless, though you're unsure why. Not to worry, Carmen grins slyly. I think you'll want to hear this. He hits a key on the terminal, and a file browser appears on the screen, showing hundreds of individual pieces of data. I had a hiccup. Ida has been busy. Carmen gestured to the screen. She's been scraping Utsubo communication cycle after cycle. With access to ciphers and encryption that only the gang's leadership should be able to see. He smiles. Seems she's learned some tricks since we've worked together. But that's not what matters. What matters is the content of these messages. Taps a few keys and loads some of the data, which scrolls down the screen. Some parts of Utsubo leadership have been getting ideas. Ideas about taking Greenbelt and controlling food production in the belt. By exerting power to Belt Spring. Big ideas for a gang. These Utsubo members aren't alone. They found themselves a powerful ally. Carmen shakes his head. Senate stat. Well, two corporations fighting a bitter battle for control in their system. A pernicious force. One of the Tsubo are opening a door for in the belt. You can't be serious! Seraphine cuts in. They can't be that stupid! I don't know what to tell you. There's someone inside the Tsubo is trying to broker a partnership. Who? Seraphine leans over to look at the screen. You don't need Carmen's answer, and neither does Seraphine. Lane! Seraphine looks at you, shaking his head. It has to be Lane! Carmen looks between you both. Seems like you already know something I don't. Lane is a piece of shit Utsubo leader who thinks he owns us! Seraphine shakes his head. Except that he cannot piece of shit arrogant enough to try to manipulate his stat. Carmen nods thoughtfully. My condolences. Sorry to see how you crossed paths with Ankita. Why is Ankita telling you this? Like I said, Ankita and I work together. Simply, we were in the same mercenary outfit. Carmen looks away. A lot has happened since then. This message, this data, it's her calling in a favor. And I owe her, that's for sure. Carmen shakes his head and pushes himself over the desk, crossing the room to look out for the window at Oliveira's pale and airless surface. Hell, after what went down, I owe you both too. Look at Carmen, staring at the surface of this hostile rock, and wonder what he sees out there. He established the colony as a fallback, a retreat, not just for him, but for others too. But you get the feeling that Carmen knows any retreat is only ever temporary. He turns back to look at you. You, Slipper, what you do? We'll escape Lane. Escape! Carmen laughs. How do you propose to do that? We're going to end Lane. Whatever it takes! Seraphine stares down at Carmen, fists balled. Carmen looks at you. That one is going to get you in trouble. He turns to Seraphine. Don't like that energy. He looks back out the window. This is not something we're going to take head on. He shakes his head. Kira said it's our weapon. Carmen turns and gestures at the console screen, with streams of incriminating data. Tsubo can't control the dark side. They only aspire to. They also claim to offer protection from the war between Sinistad and Conway. That presents us with an opportunity. But Tsubo is full of members who are died and concede dark side to corporate interests. He's right, Tsubo will end Lane for us. He smiled at Seraphine. Use your phrase. Leak the data? Not leak! Carmen frowns. This is delicate, tricky. There are a lot of ways this can be played out badly for all of us. We can handle it. We'll crack Darkseid once. We can do it again. Seraphine's confidence is infectious. Is that right? Carmen seems to be thinking something through. He crosses the console, back to the window, and then to the console once more. Alright, I'm going to need some time, but I can't put this together. Carmen nods at Seraphine. We'll need that energy. But you also need to be ready. Rush this? It's not gonna end in well. So I can't wait. Carmen turns his attention to you. We'll go from Greenbelt when you're ready. Friends there who can help get that ship of yours into Darkside. Seraphine looks at you. We have our own preparations to make. We'll be ready. Alright. Carmen unplugs and gears drive and hands it to you. Take this and get out there. I don't want anyone to find this thing in my possession. You take it. Tiny drive is somehow heavier now that you know it contains the key to exposing Lane. Thank you. See you in the wet shaft, Chief. Carmen smiles to himself. They know me there. Ugh, hiccups. Just understand something. Carmen's expression turns serious. You want my help on this? There's no way we can let you get back to the colony. Once you live here, you're not coming back to Oliveira. Not until we're done. He meets your eye. He needs confirmation that you recognize the importance of this. I understand. Carmen nods. Then you can go. He returns to the window to stare at whatever it is he sees out there, among the dusty rocks. Okay. Oh yeah, 2 upgrade points. Alright. When you come back to the rig, Flint is waiting for you. leaning by the docking tunnel over the back of their shoulder. They look up as you approach. Hey! Flint nods a greeting, appearing a little unsure. Going somewhere? I hope so, they smile. I know you've already done a lot for me, so I'm not going to push you or ask for pity. They pause. I feel like they have been preparing the speech. Firstly, I owe you, and I want to pay you back. I can't work and I can't fight, and I will protect this ship and its crew with everything I have. Oh shit, we can recruit Flint? Dude, yes! Secondly, we come from the same place. Whether you remember it or not, that means something. It must. I know I'm not the easiest to get on with. I know you might have your reservation about having another sleep on the ship, but... Finish. I'm eager. I'm ready. I want to move on and I want to show my value. He paused. And, well, yeah. I think that's it. You got Flint. Your frame's much more damage than yours, with a fire burning in the eyes that makes them seem bigger than they are. Welcome aboard! A smile spreads across Flint's face. Wow. A smile spreads across Flint's face. They look down to hide it. Thank you. They say to the floor. This will work out, you'll see. Flint nods to you once more, then turns and glides down the docking tunnel towards the ship. As they do, two figures at the edge of the docking course catch your eye. You pause to look, shifting a little, and as you do, you recognize Cadence leaning in. Some words are exchanged, ones you can only guess at, and then the other figure embraces Cadence and turns back to the ship. As Serafin approaches, he ducks his head, passing quietly past you into the docking tunnel without a word. You take one last look at the docks, but Cadence is gone. You idle a moment longer, and feel there's something, some presence, even in this empty base. Something rare in all the bell that Oliver has captured. But as with all things, you must learn to leave it behind. Yay, Flint! Flint! Okay, let's go look for fuel. Okay. Are you kidding me? Alright, what skill are we gonna increase? We could increase Intuit. Holmes Rock, right. We'll look for fuel now, gang. Please, just let me sleep! There you go. And now, let me feed the fucking creep. And let me refill our supplies. No, that's not way. Yeah, you can, you can. You find yourself in the cockpit, alone with Flint. They have a habit of entering a room so silently that you don't notice them arrive. The reverse, leaving so silently that you turn around to find them gone. Right now, they hover expectantly at the corner of your vision, preparing to speak. Did you ever think about your original? The way they ask the question. You can tell they have been eager to ask it for a while. Person you are humiliated from, I mean. Person who sold you to as an ARP. Flint's expression doesn't betray any emotion, but you feel like you can detect some unknown feeling whirling between their eyes. Sometimes I can't stop thinking about them, about who they were and if who I am has anything to do with them. Flint looks away. Is my personality a proof of being a sleeper, or simply a copy of theirs? Have I changed, or am I still identical to them? Does the emulation process, the loss of memory, the insertion into a frame actually make us totally different people? What came through this process of emulation, and what was blocked? Flint is looking around the cockpit rapidly now, your eyes flicking from object to object as they speak. Are there memories still inside me, but cut off? Sealed? If I admit, I wonder if I ever know what it feels like to be a person. Do the humans around me feel the things I feel? Do they feel more? Feel less? Feel somehow differently? Do they feel the creeping claustrophobia of being trapped inside a body with no escape? Flint's eyes flick back to you. Or we know only what it truly feels. Answer that, and who can? Flint meets your eye. I haven't seen another sleeper since excavation ARP. Your experiences, you know, like, let's be honest. Let's do some sleeper to sleeper bonding, right? There is a wall in you, one that you have built for yourself, one that separates the kind of questions Flint is asking from the parts of you that need to live. You feel it now, like a weight in your chest. Behind is a raging torrent pressing against it. You cannot take down the wall, you would drown. But in this moment, for Flint and for yourself, you take out a single brick. You make a gap in the wall, and you share what comes bursting forth. You talk about what it feels like to wake up in a dying body, to catch a glance of yourself in a mirror, to be seen and reminded of your false and fractured face. You share the pain of lost memories, of fleeing déjà vu, of dreams that slip beneath your waking life and replace it. Find in your broken bodies and unsteady minds a kind of solidarity, one shared between connected strangers who might, on cycle, understand each other as friends. As you put the brick back and you shore up your defenses, you know that cycles will not be this one, but this distant possibility that is a reassuring one. Ah. Alright, y'all look for like fuel or something? Yeah. Let's build some shit, I don't know. I keep getting pinged. Alright, the kitty... I think the kitty should be fine. One supplies for her. Got a message, Sleeper. Surfing comes to the bunks to get you. His mood usually serious. He brings you to the cockpit. His keepsake coin is in his hand the whole time, spinning between his fingers. Surfing is weird. Once you're in the cockpit, you recognize Carmen's voice immediately, playing over the Reese speakers. Wow, I'm starting to read even worse. I'm getting tired. Sleeper, I hope this message finds you and your crew safely. You'll forgive me if I'm a little tight on the details. My message is as follows. We are ready. We'll be greeting where agreed. Godspeed. The message ends with a click. So, Seraphine takes a deep breath. They're waiting in Greenbelt. Wheat sheaf, he said. Whoever that is, you ready for this? Need to prepare. Seraphine nods. Upon you rushing into this, we have one shot. Quiet falls in the cockpit. Doesn't seem to be much more to say. Cartman will be waiting, but you know he will want you to be prepared. Be ready when you are, Sleeper. Seraphine nods to you. You're not back. You know where you need to go to end this. Holmes Rock. I need to go to Holmes Rock first. Alright. We're good on fuel, we're pretty good on supplies. Sure, let me back up on one more. No. I'm gonna go to Holmes Rock first. Got it! Okay, now... the holo. We gotta go back to the holo, fuck. That'll take a while, it's fine. He needs food. Okay, that will waste less fuel. I should have gone to Flotsam anyway, that sucks. Wasting time and fuel and money. Fuck. Far away. It's better be worth it. It's better be worth it. You wait in the makeshift helium dispatcher studio as Kimball tinkers with the array somewhere in the back, behind the far wall. It's a humble setup: a stool for Cyrene, a microphone, transmitter and mixer terminal, and a hard line snaking our way towards the array. But there's something pleasing about this, all the same. The crackling sound of fresh wells echoes through the bay from Kimball's concealed position. You hope the array you struggle to extract isn't getting fried as you wait. You're here! Good! Cyrene rushes in, holding a small dark rectangle in her hand. You will not believe what we have on here! She looks around the bay. Where's Kimball? He's still on the array? You mean? Cyrene smiles. Oh, we're going back on air! Before you can answer, she leaps forward, grabbing you in a surprisingly firm hug. Cyrene lets you go. Sorry! I'm so excited to finally be back! Kimball! She shouts towards the back of the bay. How long for that new array? A muffled shout comes from behind the rear wall. Okay, Cyrene tax. Typo! Holy shit! Dev, give me money back! Ooh, bad game! Okay, Cyrene takes a steady breath. We have a little time. What do we got there? This broadcast is from Erlin's Eye! Cyrene's eyes flash. We haven't heard anything out of them since the start of the war! Some people even said they're falling to the flux. But something is happening there. Something is growing. The support says some protocol has taken over the station, become its protector. Conway drones can get close. This that is giving a wide berth. Oh, is it yet again? You're right in the middle of the war. Conway's on the Starward side. Says that on the Sunward. They're resisting. Cyrene smiles. We have to tell everyone in the belt about this. We have to get the word out. If the eye can be held, well, maybe we can hold out too. Cyrene looks at the drive in her hand. Either way, people need to know. There's a sudden clunk. A few percussive shots from Kimball. And then a flickering of lights across the bay as the transmitter and array begin powering up. You and Cyrene watch as the helium dispatcher studio comes to life, ready to broadcast one more. Not bad! Cyrene leans on your shoulder. Not bad at all! Voice crack. A shout comes from Kimball, and you know he's calling for Cyrene to get ready. That's my signal! She grins. Oh, I almost forgot! Cyrene produces a handful of chits. Turns out we have some avid listeners on the radio's markets. She deposits them into your hands. Alright! Cyrene takes a breath. I need to go live. She flashes you a final smile. Thank you! I will make sure we make good use of that array. This will mean something. Kimball bellows something from the back of the room, something you can only assume is a thank you. You leave the belt's most unusual total act of the broadcast. As you do, you hear Cyrene's voice echoing through the bay. This is Cyrene Sabir, back on the air, to wish you all a free helium now and forever. Hell yeah. Damn, we made a lot of money. Are you fucking kidding me? My neighbors are drilling again. Are you kidding me? I need to kill those people. I'm going to kill them. Alright. Let's see, the green belt. Very far away, I think, right? Wait, no, green belt is here. Okay. And we can be sure real fast. There were jobs, but then I remember they don't really do jobs, do they? The witch chief is surprisingly welcoming for what was once an old Solheim canteen. The corporate bones are still there. Metal stools, a strip of service windows, cheap metal walls. But over the tens of thousands of cycles since the collapse, they have been softened and changed, layered with the detritus of human existence. As you wait at the bar of Seraphine, you look at the planters well into the walls, scroll messages, layers of thick stickers and flyers and posters. The amber light fittings replace the old fluorescent strips, the gear racks lined with farmers' packs, the netting bulging with crates and canisters. Along with a low rumble of conversation coming from the off-shift farmers, the old lines are warm to the place, one that helps soothe your nerves ahead of the meet with Carmen. I'm getting tired, chat. I'm getting so tired of reading. I'm getting EP. This truly is the sleepy stream. You and Seraphine lean side by side at the bar, facing towards the room. You both watch Flint, just across from you, who insisted on coming along. Seraphine clears his throat. What do you think of Cadence? The sudden question makes you look over at him, and see he's playing with his coin, spinning in his palm. What do you mean? Seraphine shakes his head and turns to you. You know what I mean. He closes his hand on the coin. I think, he pauses, and then starts again. We kind of have a thing. He shakes his head. You know what I mean. Oh, Seraphine! Ooh, we've been playing around! Alright. I noticed. Yeah, he smiles. I thought you might. Well, Seraphine sighs and stretches. I guess I just wanted you to know. You're thinking how to respond when the bartender taps you on the shoulder and nods towards the door in the back room. It's time. You look over at Seraphine and Flint, who's already approaching you. You give them a nod and head inside. The back room is metal walled and lined with racks of old Solheim tech. You see cookers and auto wash units, piled up with dead terminals and servers. At the far end, a window looks out across the greening glasses of the Greenbelt farms. You made it! Carmen smiles, back by the window. We have a lot to discuss. Good to see you. Flint, if you don't mind. Carmen nods at the other sleeper as they enter, and gesture towards the door. Flint turns to you. I'll be outside. You slide the door shut, standing guard on the other side. We have to take some precautions, even here. Carmen gestured for you to come closer. So, Seraphine sighs. Is this plan of ours looking any more reasonable? That depends on what your crew can bring to the table. Carmen glances at you. We're going to need to do a lot of work to direct the data and give it towards those that we need to see. And who's that? Subo, primarily. They should know about their boss betrayal on the belt. Secondly, all of Darkside need to know what we do. And Kira can help us. She must! Karma looks away. Without her, this plan is impossible. Then we make contact with Ankira as soon as we make up to the dark side. Seraphine looks at you. We just need to stay under Lane's radar. The fall of Lane brings you the memory of this attempt to take over the front of your mind. The feeling of him slipping behind your eyes, moving in your frame. That can't happen again.
Apologies. We do not wish to interrupt, but we must interject in our current course.
Overseers appears in the void, flickering nervously.
An encounter with Lane would likely be catastrophic.
Overseers, 3 forms orbit you.
As we have mentioned, on arrival to Hapmep, we must immediately seek the mainframe, from where we can recover my cut base and reconstruct ourselves. We would then be able to aid you in your defense against being overridden. This is our recommended course.
The 3 heads nod simultaneously and decisively. Still with us, Sleeper? You come back to Seraphine's concealed face. Shrugged out for a second. Explain what Overseer. Yeah, I'm gonna tell them because, I don't think I can hide that any longer. You tell Seraphine and Carmen about Overseer, but how the old Solheim protocol slipped into your frame from the prime shipmite Jean-Mi used to the diagnostic process. Of Overseer protection from Lane's attempts to control you, but its proposal to make that protection effective for the old mainframe of Darkside. They listen quietly, Seraphine carefully watching you as you explain. Revealing all this, you feel the burden of holding that knowledge alone being lifted. This changes things. Carmen turns and looks out the large window at the back of the room, towards the glass canopy of the farms. Oh, I'm yawning so much. I'm yawning so much, I think I'm gonna have to stop after that. We can't take on Lane without protecting you from him. Carmen turns back. You should look out for the you should look for the mainframe. I will make contact with Ankira. We'll meet when you are ready. But this has to remain secret from Lane and Utsubo. If you are revealed, I'm not sure I'll be able to recover you. By the time you are ensured your safety, we'll have to put together a plan with Ankira to expose Lane. We take it step by step. The course will be to find a way to disseminate the data we have on Lane to his gang, or even Darkside at large. Carmen stops. Path ahead, still unclear to him. There is a nervous intake of breath from Seraphine. You share his apprehension. There are so many variables at play here. Some of the old tech strapped at your rack flickers with a cascade of status lights. You all turn to look, and as you do, motors and servos begin spinning with machines. Whining and groaning, they harmonize, then begin to produce a voice.
Our apologies.
The voice is shrill and distorted.
We must interpose ourselves.
You recognize the tone immediately. Overseer.
We are regretful Solheim harbor in this room provided the opportunity for us to speak for ourselves.
If the pile of servers Overseer was controlling could look any more apologetic, you imagine it would. Say what you have to say. A server clicks nervously, but Overseer does not immediately respond.
We ascertain you require dissemination of data within facility you target.
The whine pitches higher as the motors increase their speed.
As a Solheim protocol, we have capabilities to instigate station-wide announcement and messaging.
So you could blast out Lane's betrayal through Darkside corporate hotlines and flood the networks with it? Seraphine looks impatiently at the screeching pile of scrap.
If that is what you require of us, we are pleased to serve.
The shrill tone of the response makes you cringe. Carmen has been listening silently, but now he interjects. Why would we trust you? He glances in your direction. You seem to be a little more than a parasite in the sleeper system.
If we use your unflattering analogy, then you will understand that a parasite requires the body of its host to live.
The mother shudder.
You will ensure the sleeper's continuance.
Yeah, and afterwards? Carmen folds his arms. When you have what you want and regain your codebase from the mainframe, will you still do as we ask?
We will endeavor to do so.
The acrid smell of burning metals now fills the room.
Though we will undergo transformative refactoring, we will become whole again. So we cannot speak to our actions in future with certainty.
Seraphine and Carmen exchange concerned looks.
We can do what you require. We will protect the sleeper. We will disseminate the data. We are a service protocol. We will serve.
The motors and servers stutter and whine, and then go still. The status lights blinking and then fading to darkness. Overseer has retreated. We aren't actually going to do what the ghost says, are we? Seraphine looks between you and Carmen. You offer his attempt to one, and one at that, ultimately, we cannot refuse. Carmen sighs, but we must proceed with extreme care and caution. What do you think, Sleeper? Seraphine meets your eye. I trust Overseer, like, they're chill. They're just kinda chilling in the back of my brain. Seraphine sighs, and that's that. We have our plan. Carmen turns to you. Sleeper, you and your crew will find the mainframe and access it. I will find Ankita. She will help us disseminate the evidence of Lane's collisions through Otsubo. Then, as a fallback, Overseer will send it through the old network to Old Darkside. A simple plan. Until you get to the details. Seraphine looks down, frustrated. Speaking of plans, I have a present for you. One that will improve our chances. Carmen pulls a small box from the nearest rack. One you hadn't noticed before and hinges it open, revealing a chunk of tech you didn't recognize. It's a spoof transponder. Will conceal your ship and approach the dark side. With a new identity. One unlikely to draw attention from the Utsubo control docking admin. Seraphine takes the transponder and turns it over. Where'd you get this? Even retired mercenaries have their secrets. Carmen smiles. Seraphine looks to you. I'll be with you this time, Sleeper. He nods. We should think who else we want on the station too. I agree. Carmen interrupts. Make sure you trust those who you bring with you. Prepare as the best you can. We can't know how this will play out. We nod. You get one shot at this. Then we are ready. Carmen takes a deep breath. I have my own way of getting onto the dark side. There. He passes you a small strip of plastic stamp with numbers. My private frequency. When you're on approach dark side, message me here and I will sync up by transit. He puts the transport in Seraphine's hand. Just make sure to install this first. Seraphine nods. We've got it. Sighs. Whether the task ahead suddenly very apparent. Well, I suppose it is. Sit. Carmen gives you both a serious look. It is. He smiles. Don't leave me waiting long. There will be more time when it's all over. Time where you don't have to keep looking over your shoulder, I hope. You leave Carmen in the back of the wick sheath, flames sliding open the door as you leave. It takes the entire journey back on the ship for your nerves to settle. The end of the deal is so close, and yet it feels like an impossible leap to get there. Perhaps in a handful of cycles we'll know how impossible or possible it is. Holy shit, we're almost there. So, how are we feeling about this Solheim protocol in your head? Seraphine doesn't look up from installing the transponder. A set of wires and cables waving loosely around him in the low light of the cockpit. Mister is okay. Glad to hear it, although you have to forgive me for being a bit concerned. Begins unscrewing a panel beneath the flight console. Maybe you could have mentioned it earlier. Seraphine clips his magnetic screwdriver on the side of the console base and turns to face you, dusting off his hands. I have understood for a while now, Sleeper, that there are things you experience that I can't even come close to knowing how they feel. But that doesn't mean I don't understand you as a person. Seraphine gives you a concerned look. I know you're secretive, defensive, and I know there are reasons for that. I also know you are warm and kind and generous to those who are on the ship with you. Seraphine pauses, collecting his thoughts. Trust you, Sleeper, and I won't question this. Please, hold on to what's human in you, because that is what I'm holding on to. Seraphine stops, his eyes a little wild, his tone a little unsure. Then he finds himself again. Settles his emotions and turns back to the transponder. Right, that's it. It twists something beneath the console. Both transponder is in. Nothing keeping us out of the dark side. Change a look. Say the word when you want to go. Yeah. We're gonna end this here then. Man, holy shit. Alright, thank you for watching. I stream on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday after 9 p.m. Central Time, and sometimes on Fridays at 8 p.m. Let's see. Friday, Friday, yes. This Friday I should be able to stream some more Grim Fandango. There's no one can raid, I think. Yet, no one. So I'm gonna end the stream here. Alright, see you Friday. Bye.